You're watching Halenville Live with Fruitcake Tony. Woo!
All right, what's happening?
What's
Dude,
going
it's
on?
Wednesday night, Keith.
Yeah, it is.
What's happening, bro?
It's Wolfgang Wednesday, boys and girls.
How you doing, dude?
Doing well, doing well. Just getting through the rain of the day again. You know, it's one of those winters where it's raining every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it seems like here in San Diego.
Don't say that.
Yeah, but we need it. We need that weather out here.
Yeah.
Severe drought time, so you know.
Right on.
Now we can actually rest a little bit, knowing that the reservoirs are getting filled up.
Mm-hmm. Well, cool, dude. It's still nice spring weather here and holding on. I thought it'd go back to winter, but it hadn't. So we'll chalk it up for a early spring for us here, dude.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
had a rough go at it real quick during the winter though, and you got through it though.
Well, yeah, it got quite cold and stayed quite cold, but yeah,
Yeah,
no,
but you get those
doing,
once in a while.
yeah. Good to see you though, dude. Everybody, this is Halenville Live. Fruitcake Tony, Keith Campbell along. It is March the 29th, 2023. We're going to be talking about the Inside Magazine.
Yeah, we are.
We don't want to forget the Inside magazines.
Nope. Always a
Yeah.
great part of everybody's Van Halen history.
Mm-hmm.
All
And
all
and
16 issues.
it is, but it's quite a remarkable story also, you
Yeah.
know, with the band and the Van Halen news desk and the Van Halen store.
Yep.
You know.
And all due to one man, Jeff Hausman.
Hmm. Yeah,
He was the brainchild behind it all.
we're gonna get into all of that and more. Yeah, nice mammoth pick, bro.
Yeah, I got a couple of those.
Yeah.
This
I'm
one
sure
too.
you all are liking the new video that's out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Loving that video. Laugh my ass off every time I watch it.
I know. Yeah, I'm sure you all have watched it more than once or twice, and I hope you've got your pre-orders in for the new Mammoth 2, August
Hmm.
4th.
You better. They're sold out. The CDs are sold out already.
I'm seeing the CD sold out this afternoon in the
Hmm.
recent days since this was announced. It they have sold out of stuff and replenished, and but the CD has remained sold out, it looks like, for a while. And it is the same on the UK store menu as well. It's sold out
Hmm.
there, but all the tasty versions of the vinyl are still up there. Plus all that really cool merch too. You know.
I'm sure they will replenish the CDs though, because they are in really high demand.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
for those of us who don't have a turntable and
yeah,
still work the CDs.
yeah. Maybe by tomorrow. So keep checking back over at the
Yep.
Mammoth official over there. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and all the nice swag that they got there too.
yeah.
Just like we were talking about last week with Cheryl. And got to say thank you to Cheryl. That was a fun show last week.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
Mm.
that was great meeting Cheryl too.
Yeah, yeah, great girl.
Yeah,
Another
yeah.
one of
It's fun.
our Helen faithful.
She is. She is true blue. She is,
Hmm.
and she's a huge Mammoth WVH fan too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she's she got the ink to prove it.
she does, dude. I know. Um, I saw an image of that. I guess maybe after she got it, not realizing it was hers. You know, but it is
Yeah,
very cool. Um,
yeah. She got the Mammoth Pill logo, and then she's got
yeah,
the heart all striped out, broken.
yeah. Her new one.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, great work on that.
Yeah.
I saw this week. John Storms. He went to go see him up at the see Mammoth at the Spokane show, and he got to meet the band and everything. And he got Wolfgang's autograph right here on his right by his elbow, and he had the logo here on his bicep as well. And he ended up finding a tattoo shop on Sunday that was open. Ironically, the name of the tattoo shop was Mammoth Tattoo.
Oh no.
Seriously, you can't make this shit up. So he had
Mm,
his autograph, all linked in. So it looks great.
yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Um, yeah. Very exciting. That new merch is looks fantastic.
Yeah.
But all
So
that stuff will be out on or around August the 4th.
mhm.
Last during the debut, it was June 11th, 21, right?
That's
It,
right.
it it came on that day, and it was a Saturday too. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I got all my gear that year, 2 days later on the 13th.
yeah. Right.
Got the CD and the Mammoth shirt, the pill shirt. Or not the pill shirt, but the logo shirt like I was wearing last week. Got those on the same day. And just like, I love that shirt. It's so cool.
Yeah. Well, once all that merch arrives, we'll be giving away some of those cool Mammoth guitar picks.
Yeah.
Yes, we will.
And the only time that you could get the last of the regular merch from this tour is on the road now because they're not selling it on the website anymore. So
Right.
go out. They were playing up at Anaheim at the House of Blues last night, and that place just was filled to capacity. It
Yeah.
was it was it was packed to the gills.
They're in Arizona tonight.
That's right.
I was watching this afternoon, I was watching a live stream here on YouTube, Zim's Guitars, and a customer walked in his store while he was live and asked him if he was going to see Mammoth and Alder Bridge tonight, and he was like, "What? What? I didn't know they were coming." And yeah, well, he was like, "Guys, I gotta go. I got customers." Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, maybe a half hour before we started this podcast, I was on the phone talking with Jeff Hausman, and he's on his way to the show right now. He's going, and
nice.
he hadn't seen Wolf perform in 10 years. Last time we saw him was when he was with Tremonti. So he's all
Right.
psyched up for that. So he can't wait to see him and the rest of the guys in the band and stuff. So it'll be a
Yeah.
nice night for him. And he told me he'd get back with me next week, and he'll do a follow up on the show too. So
Nice.
yeah,
Right on. Well, cool. We're gonna also at some point tonight we're gonna do us a round of nearly impossible Van Halen trivia. Um, rather
Get your thinking caps on for this
rather
one, kids.
difficult question for
Mm-hmm.
tonight, but
Yeah.
it is Wednesday, and we are going to do that, and we're going to give you for tonight for some prizes. We're going to give
Ooh,
you a Balance
the yin yang.
Peely
Sweet.
for one. I'm going to reach in here, and we're going to fetch you a, guess what?
A quarter.
A 71D and a
Yeah.
Balance Pass. All right.
Yeah. One of these.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. Now, if I recall, Eddie also had a Music Man with the yin yang logo on it.
Seems
I
like
think
that's
I,
right, I want to
I think
say.
he had one. He had one, and he gave it to Matt Bruck, and he was using it to play in his band Zen Boy.
Mm,
But
okay.
very rarely ever saw Eddie playing that guitar. I think I've
Yeah,
seen
I've
like
seen
maybe two or
that.
three pictures.
Yeah, I mean, where else have Led Zeppelin possibly? Who else has
Hmm.
that logo or uses that image?
I don't know. Maybe we should ask the chat. Let's open up the
Yeah.
chat and say hi to
Anybody?
them and ask them.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
But it seems like I do remember that on a Music Man. All right, boom. All right.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Good to see you guys. I'm at the bottom. Jay Turner, what's up, brother man? Good to see you,
What's going
sir.
on, brother? Yeah.
Janice Lala in the house. Good to see
Janice.
Janice. Christopher Live Sour right there.
Silva. Yeah.
Ed is in the house. What's up, Ed?
What's up, Ed?
Right on, bro. All right. All right. Graphite and Cigars is hanging with us.
Nice. Hey,
Right
Graphite.
on. And
What's going
there's
on, brother?
Patty Deal. Hey, Patty.
Patty.
Good to see
Hi,
you,
sweetheart.
man. Polly Walnuts, what's up, bro?
Yo, Paulie. What's up, brother?
All right. Right on, Paul. Ryan Hall, what's up, Ryan?
Brother.
All right, I'm
What's going
still
on, Ryan?
going up. Thomas Santiago, what's up, dude?
Thomas Santiago.
All right, I'm gonna scroll
Yeah.
back down. Dan in New Jersey and Andy Carson, fellas, what's happening?
Yeah. What's
Always
going
good to
on,
see
Andy?
you
Hey,
guys.
Dan. Yeah, Dan.
Um, if you're just getting here, hop in and say hello. Good to see everybody. It's
Yep.
Wednesday night. OU812 is in the house. What's happening, bro? All right. I think he's
Yeah.
answering our question, Keith. Right on. Nice.
Yeah. There you go, Ryan. Nice.
Cool. But yeah, I've seen that image. You know what? For some, it's there is another band, and I don't know if, but some
Hmm.
I've seen that image on the
Oh,
back.
we have a first-time viewer here
Who's
tonight.
that?
Monique Demura.
Hey,
Welcome.
Monique.
Welcome,
Good to
Monique.
see you. I've
Yeah.
seen this, Keith, on the back of a guitar pick of
Oh,
some
okay.
of some
On a
player.
guitar pick. Hmm.
Yeah. But anyway,
Tough one.
yeah, not as tough as the question is tonight
Yeah. Yeah, this is a
though.
good
Yeah.
one tonight. Even made me scratch my head. I actually had
Yeah.
to go thumbing through the issue, the paperback of Crazy from the Heat that old Tea Cake here gave me. And
See,
thank
you're
you again
giving
for that, man.
hints. You're giving. We're how many minutes in? We ain't 15
That's all.
minutes in,
That's all
and
I'm saying. That's all I'm
bro,
saying.
he
It does. Hey, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. Okay, it's just history.
You want to give them the chapter and page number too?
Nah.
All right. I'm kidding, bro. But there is your hint, though.
Yeah,
I don't
there's our
think you're
only hint.
still. I don't think they're. I don't think they're gonna get it.
I don't think so either.
Even if all of them
Even if they
have the
can read
book.
all 287
No,
pages
even
of
if
it.
everybody has the book, and I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot of you do. But even if everyone has it, you know, yeah.
you'd have to thumb through every page to figure it out. Sorry,
Either you
too many
know it,
stories in there. Yeah,
either
either
you
you know
know
it or
it,
you
or
don't.
you don't. Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm. So,
So Keith, the Inside magazine. What? Let me tell you my first take on the. And I was, you know, I was in a part in my life where I was a young husband and a young dad, and my life wasn't music as much as it was in the 80s, let's say 5 years before, you know. But I was older, I was a little older, but the bands themselves had slowed down. Van Halen, they were out there. But when 95 came, I thought it was awesome, for somebody my age in my position, that, it hanging out on the weekend or maybe in a band or anything else, at home, it was perfect. Um,
hmm
and for the whole existence of it, it was perfect, you know. Um, and it was different things in them, but for I jumped all over it, you know. Um,
oh yeah.
I'm sure all of us did.
Oh yeah. I mean, I the minute that it came out, I was just like, it's about damn time, you know. I'm like, why hadn't this happened 20 years ago? I mean, oh, it was such a godsend for us to have something like this happen. You know, it
Right,
was just like, oh my God, about time. All the little tidbits, all the little inside scoop interviews, little things, but stuff that us geeks would just drool over, you know. It,
right.
it, mm, and it
Hold
still
up that
smells.
debut cover. So that's the first. That's the first issue.
Yep. Look at those sneakers.
Now, I'll tell you, Keith, though, at the time, we had just seen a couple, you always scoured the latest issue of Cream and Hit Parade or whatever, Metal
hmm
Edge to find the Van Halen cover stories. But once in a blue moon, they would dedicate the whole magazine from front to back to Van Halen, and we all know those issues, and they were godsends too. We all
Oh
still
yeah.
have those, I'm sure too. But when this came out, at first I thought this was just another one of those, you know, um, but it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. And I was actually kind of lucky to, you know, be in right at the get go. Back in the day, the guy who started this, Jeff Hausman, he wasn't doing this all the time. He was a big mega fan, but he was also a collector. And, just like us, he also had bootlegs. And he would have a little advertisement on the back of the guitar magazines with those bootlegs. But he, moved on, and the band said, "Hey, listen, how about starting something like this instead?" and he was on board full time. And he was just completely overwhelmed by it, but he loved the idea. He ended up getting interviews from people who had already done interviews, but he had also gone out and done his own interviews as well. He had other writers, Jeffrey Bell, Dana Stronka, J. Mark Wilson, and it was a very small group of people who worked on this, and they did such a great job. And just seeing the evolution of it from this to this at the end, the final product, and them being all completely color pages, and just the layout, the design on them, it was just such a great evolution. I just loved the way everything evolved, and it's just a shame that it didn't continue. But we're going to get into that later.
Right. But it did end up in the liner notes of Right Here, Right Now and Balance.
Yes, it did.
Yeah. So it appeared like it was here to stay.
Yeah. But it was all just a slow progressional evolution though. I loved how it was growing though. And then everything in typical Van Halen fashion, left a big question mark on it. And in this case, a Frankenstein question mark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, true, and that's in true Van Halen style, as you said, but not to jump ahead, but it does it having Jeff here after the Inside Magazine with the Van Halen store and the Van Halen news desk.
Yep.
We're not as, I guess, sore at the band for not having a fan club website up, modern day, interactive, whatever, like some bands do. But, maybe it's a godsend, I mean, but that it is cool that we can still access this stuff and buy this stuff. And there is a site that I think all of us lean to in the Van Halen world, the Van Halen news desk.
Absolutely. Before the news desk even started, you had vanhalen.com. Remember that? Van-halen.com, the official site. And it was so. The web guys who worked it, they did some work on it, but the news desk picked it up and ran with it big time. Once the inside had gone its evolution, and the news desk picked up, and it was just gangbusters from there. So it's still all accessible today, to this day. You can go all the way back to the inception.
Right. Yeah. We'll have a look at the store, but every back issue, I think every one, Keith, is on the Van Halen store, and they're all $9 and something each.
Well, not every issue, no, because there are some issues that are completely sold out. I was talking with Jeff before, and he said they sold out just immediately, and it was no reason whatsoever other than people just wanted it immediately, and he had no rhyme or reason to it, couldn't figure it out why. But there are 4 or 5 issues that are still available on the store site though right now. So if you have them, if you don't have them, go get them.
Yeah,
There they are.
so these 5, yeah. Yeah, they're 9.95. Okay. So they don't have all of them. They have these five. Right on.
Yeah.
And that's the first one and the last one too.
Yep.
That's included on this list.
Yeah. I believe you can also buy it as an entire bundle pack too, if I recall.
Um, yeah, I see these all over eBay and marketplaces, and but yeah,
Yeah.
go to the Van Halen store. They have those
Yep.
still
I
there.
was telling Tony earlier, I woke up this morning and started thumbing through, Facebook and Instagram and all that. And on Facebook, on one of the merchandise sites, for the Van Halen merchandise and memorabilia, there was a guy selling all 16. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, they show up in little bundles of various ones
Yeah.
all the time. But yeah, they'll as time goes, they will be get more hard to find. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So if you have it, hang on to it.
All right. So Keith J has a question here in the chat. So Mikey's rig, is that the debut? Is it Mike?
Uh, let's see. They have an interview with Mikey on the first one. Yes. I not. I think he does talk a bit about everything, a whole lot of everything, because he's got 5, 6 pages here. Yeah, he's got. There he is. There he is with Sue, and then the infamous New Year's or the Christmas holiday photo shoot. Um,
Where
and
does the
he
article start on Mikey there?
oh, it's the first article of the
Hold it
book.
up.
Oh, Mikey with the collar popped and locked.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jeff Hausman did the interview on this, edited by Jeff Bell, and they talk about everything, all the Sammy tunes, going back to the days with Dave as well, you know, everything. Even his, talking about his jack and setting up the bass and all that, and it's just a wonderful interview. And this is only the first one he does. He's done a few of them with the magazine. So everybody in the band has done a few interviews. I think the least out of them though was Dave. You know,
Right.
they would always just pull quotes from him because at that time he wasn't really involved with Van Halen at all. So
Right. Well, yeah, I would say just all of mine are, gosh, they're a couple of them are to pieces, but I do have the debut issue in a mint over here that I don't take out of the package. But I would say if you're going to grab one, I see a lot of the debuts out there,
hmm
and the Van Halen store has them too, and they are new. So, um,
yeah, yeah, they've got some really great interviews on this. They have all the little things that they do, the side things. You know, Eddie and Sammy working, doing the unplugged thing at the Shoreline Amphitheater. Um, Mikey's interview here, and then here's a nice one: Dennis Travis from back in the day, and that's Dennis right there.
so he was their
There's
neighbor.
Ed, and yep, and there's Alex right there, and I think they were like maybe 12, 13 years old there.
Yeah.
So And if I recall, that's Eddie's guitar he's playing. So that's the Trojan Lumber Company days back in '71. So yeah, so he was 15. Oh, wait a second. No, it's saying that this is Mark Stone with the guitar on the right. I'm sorry. Oh, yep. That's Mark Stone.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Ian's Guitar Shack. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, Ian? Then you
Guitar
got
Man 45. What's
yeah.
up, dude?
Oh, right, boys. Then you got the gigs at Cabo, which is always great pictures right there.
Yeah. And that is when is that, Keith? Is that the grand opening?
This was not the grand opening. This was another gig, actually. This was a later gig in, I think, 92 or 93.
All right. Hold it up.
Yeah, because if everybody remembers, Eddie was wearing like a white T-shirt, and then he had his hair up in this, not that samurai do, but he had it half ponytailed,
Right.
and he was wearing flip-flops, and
Right.
but I don't think they even had the surfboard up yet. And then, oh, here's a good one. A couple of fans get to go meet Van Halen at 5150.
When was that?
Let's see. This was, I'd say, March of '88. Her name was
Nice.
Kim Musgrove.
Right. Hold it up.
And these are all her pictures, too.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember reading that. Forgot all about that.
Yeah. And there's Sammy and his 512 Ferrari. There's Eddie's Harley. And there's Kim and her girlfriend with the boys.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yeah. And then you've got an interview of Eddie doing, an entire interview about the Music Man itself, about the guitar. And timelines, which is really cool. The old picture. I mean, this is when everybody started to see the rare pictures too. That I'd never seen this before this magazine. And then you had all
Nice.
those pictures. Yep.
Yeah,
It's
you
really
may
cool.
have a point though, date wise. We may not have seen those up
Yeah.
until then. You know.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
picture of them in the recording studio in '77. So that's
Okay.
at Sunset Sound.
Right.
Oh, that's the demo. So this was April of '77. And then let's see. They talk about Sammy's Unboxed, his Unboxed CD. So he's got his best of stuff there.
Right.
And then everybody remembers these though. These pictures, the
Yeah.
Sunday afternoon pictures in
So
Jurassic
that's
Park.
where that first came out. We saw a video a year or so ago that
Yeah.
accompanied. Hold that up, Keith.
All right.
Bro, there you go. Yeah, nice. So that's where we first saw it at.
Mm-hmm. So This picture here is where they all filmed everything pretty much, but these pictures, you didn't see them at all in that video. So where's the footage for that, right?
Well, those are just stills. So,
Yeah,
but still though,
they were filming.
That was I can probably definitely say that's the first place that I ever saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
and then every issue had a one section with all the merch too for sale.
That's right. They all had an order form
Yep.
that had right.
Yeah, and then you could sit there and order all these gears. You know, you had the sneaker T-shirt, all the different Live Right Here, Right Now shirts. You know, the Cabo stuff. You know, even the
Even the
glasses.
sunglasses and the
Yeah.
inside magazine too was
Yep.
but so in the back of another issue, and we'll look at other issues, Keith, but in the back in an order form of another one, I don't think it's exactly the same. I think it's got a lot of where options where you can buy a lot of older
Oh yeah.
stuff, in other ones, but we'll get to
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
even with this one though too, you could order the Women and Children First poster right here.
Right. Yeah.
So they had all sorts of fun gear on that. And then, you know, next issue that I have.
Yeah.
Now, I do have to tell you, though, that those second and third issues, they sold out quick. Actually, 2, 3, and 4 sold out quick. Here, I'll isolate and show you those.
Yeah.
So the top one with Eddie and Sammy, that's number 2. And then you got this one here with Sammy. And this one, I believe, was taken at Jones Beach. I was at that show. And then this one was one of my favorites, Dr. 5150.
Yeah. All
And
right.
then you had another one with
Right.
them on the road.
Right. Those do show up though. You can
Yeah.
still find those in various marketplaces, you know.
Who
All
has
right.
that shirt?
Yeah. Hang
The
on,
humans
bro.
being shirt.
Hang on, bro. All right. So it the I can't say that I remember the Inside Magazine ending in at it took I don't know how a couple of years, like, I don't know how many years later to realize that, well, what the heck ever happened to the Inside Magazine, you know.
For me, I knew it immediately because when this came out, the band was in a state of limbo, anyways.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it never dawned on me that they were going to stop making the magazine.
Yeah, and it was really upsetting to me too because I had just resubscribed for a new subscription there, and poof, there was the last issue right there, the number 16. So it was just really ripped my heart out. I was like, oh God, I was just getting into this and loving it, and everybody was soaking it up because they had so much that they were offering in terms of
Andy, have a
information.
good one, brother.
Be good, Andy. Be safe. But they, didn't give any answers though as to why. But later on, I did discover answers, and everybody else got it too. Eventually.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
because it was, by the time this last issue came out, you know, it was the age of the internet. So everything was expanding then.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when Van Halen-.com started, and the news desk and the store was just getting its legs under itself. So it just started growing from there. Would have been cool if they still kept doing this, though. Just as a little aside, to have hard copies,
Yeah. Right. Well, they do show up in, you can get those 5 issues on the Van Halen store, but they show up in marketplaces and all the time. You saw a bundle of all of them for, today I saw one
Mm-hmm.
that included 6 or 8 issues that, I see it all the time. But a lot of times the individual prices for them are a little much, I think.
Yeah, it all
In
varies on the
marketplace.
issue, though, too. It depends on the issue. I mean, some people just go nuts for the guitar issue. Some people go nuts for that one Doctor 5150, you know. Um, and I was talking with Jeff earlier today, and he said that this was his favorite, the Club Days issue, because nobody ever had, they've all done interviews about, you know, the band during the tours and stuff, and the albums and the guitars, but they never went back and did anything about the Club Days at all. So this is the first time this actually went and happened, And I got to thank Lenny Lou for this, because she gave me this on EVHCon. Bless you. Love you.
Right on.
Yeah. So this is, a really, really beautiful issue.
Uncork that thing.
I do once in a while.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Find a place in there, Keith, that you can show so I don't have to go back and forth on the
All right.
mouse here, brother.
What would you like to know about their
I
days in the
I
whiskey?
show
Yeah, here's the
show us the
headliner.
sugar, baby.
The Club Days. There he is. Look at that. That is one pack crowd too. I believe this was at the whiskey. Actually, no, it wasn't, because it's too big of a crowd. This may have actually even been at one of the
Hold it up, baby. Hold it up.
this may have been at Pasadena Civic, considering the size of it. Because
Okay.
look at that crowd. That's just a lot, wall to wall people. That does not look like a
Right.
regular, a full stage. That's just a small stage. So,
Got it.
yeah. He's got his rig right there. Oh, yeah. Those cheap lights. Yeah. And even back then, Alex was being bombastic with the flaming sticks.
Right.
Yeah, and this actually starts talking about the demos that they were doing as well. So you've got all 26 cuts of the demos that they were doing with Gene Simmons back in. Oh, actually, these are the Warner Brothers demos. So, but they also have a ton of pictures from back in the day with, backstage at the whiskey, and there's Dave, and there they are performing.
There you go. Do it like that.
Yeah. There's Mikey and Sue. Eddie with a pair of shades upside down. Oh, got himself a big old bottle in hand. And they're sitting there hanging out with the Runaways. I think that's doing a little hang on at the whiskey there as well. And Dave all pimping out.
And all
Taking
this is club days.
This is all club days. And here we go with an interview from Tom Broderick, you know, one of their buds that they
Right.
grew up with, you know, talking all about, you know, what it was like back then. The madness, the insanity, you know, playing the backyard parties, but then moving into the clubs and just dealing with that insanity.
Hold it still. I didn't say stop talking.
Okay.
Just
So-
hold it still.
Yeah. But, I mean, even back then, you know, I mean, you're looking at, like right up here, you've got pictures of Mikey's bass that he had made by Lynn Ellsworth. Okay, that's his snake wood bass. And then you've got right down below there, Eddie with Frankie, with fresh, semi-fresh paint, probably about a year or so old. And Dave hanging backstage here with the girls, of course. And then they started with the pose shots, the glamour shots, and everything. The first rounds of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Keep going, bro.
yeah. And then we're playing with bands like Stormer. And then this looks like it was one of the shows they did on the first tour, though. This was, and based upon the Les Paul that he's playing, it looks like it might have been either the Long Beach or the San Diego Sports Arena show. Great shots, though, and you never saw these except, you know, when these happened, you know, got published here. There's Dave chilling and being Dave. It was a madhouse back then. So yeah, based on the rafters on that one picture there, it does look like it's might have been Pasadena Civic.
Okay. Keep rolling, brother.
Yeah. Oh, here's an interview with Walter Onley. They used to call him Cartoon, and it talks all about, you know, his days when he used to be buddies with the boys, and would, you know, get the VIP treatment, and, you know, always end up front and center with them and working with them and things like that.
Right.
Pictures like this photo shoot was the reason I got into Jeeps. Seriously. I got into Jeeps because of Eddie had a silver one, so I got a white one. There's New Year's Eve at the whiskey. Got all the pretty girls in their lingerie and some big old dude in a diaper. Yeah.
Okay.
Is Eddie wearing platforms in there? That sure looks like it. Oh my goodness. Gee Louise. And then you got backstage or inside 5150 pictures. Everybody loves these pictures.
Hold that up and hold it still. Not, you back it off a little and move it to your left. And up.
There we go. How's that? Because there are just so many pictures here to absorb on this. Yeah, there's all sorts of pictures here to look at. And if I recall, this picture right here of, where is it? The the guitars. This one right here. Wolfgang's using this guitar on the new album. That's the baritone that he's going to be using. And you got things like the piano that he had in the studio at the time. And these were all taken in 1985. So this was after everything was going south with Dave and starting with Sammy. And then, on to
Hold it up,
another
bro.
interview. Yeah. And then you've got another interview here with Pat Badger from Extreme.
Right. All right.
Yeah, all different sorts of pictures. And he's talking all about, going into 5150 here and hanging with Eddie and, talking about the rigs that he had, and then you got a Marching to Mars interview with Sammy.
So what? Hold that cover up again, Keith. No,
This
the
one?
cover. All right, right on. So that's the club issue.
Yeah, Club
So
Days.
that's just the cover story. And down on your left finger, down, hold that up. Now, yeah. Hold that left. Yeah, right there. Hold the left corner up. New Sammy inside 5150 Balance Rider demos review Roth's book. Okay.
Yeah. So it all talks about that. And then, of course, you've got other little tidbits on the back with the merchandise as well, which
All
is
right.
great.
So hold up that merch page.
All right.
Let's look at that. Okay, back it out towards you. Right. Looks good. Okay. So you can get, so they were offering back issues.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all sorts of goodies here.
Oh, wrong button.
And then,
All right.
of course, Eddie and Al on the back
Yeah.
with the
I'm gonna
bikes.
give my mouse a rest, Keith.
All right.
You still hold them up, bro. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So had that, and then I've got one of my favorite issues. I love the cover on that, and you'd love it too because it's got the fruit sickle.
The sickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
And this
right.
is
We'll
that's when
show it
everything was
in a
going
minute.
up in the air. Yeah.
We'll show it in a minute, and I'll isolate you. I just hate going back and forth and back and forth.
I get you.
Yeah, dude. Who did I see? Mikey Mojo's in here. What's up, Mikey?
What's up, Mikey?
Good to see you. Always good to see you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what I also like though is how they evolved the magazine headers, because you started with it like this, then it started to evolve into something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then you ended up with something like this.
Right.
But then
So it began. Let me show. It began as the official international Van Halen magazine.
actually the first issue, it said, didn't even say official, it just said the International Van Halen magazine. Then after that, Um,
Well, Keith, you were going in and out, dude. I didn't hear a word you just said.
this is what it said: the International
That's
Van
the
Halen magazine.
international van, right? That's what I
It
said.
did,
I'm
it didn't.
making
It
a
didn't.
point,
No,
right?
it didn't say anything about official or unofficial yet. Then it
Right,
becomes unofficial international
right,
Van Halen magazine, and then they put the Inside Van Halen on this one,
right.
and then it became just the Inside again. And on this one, it was unofficial international Van Halen magazine as well. But then there was one issue where it did become official. One issue,
Okay.
and that was this one.
All right. Well, at first they called it the International Van Halen magazine.
Mm-hmm. And then by the end, it went back to unofficial. So, mm.
All right. All right.
The one thing I did like about as time went on, though, they got the fans involved a lot more because the mailbag got so much bigger. You would always have like a little editor's uh, conversation right here, a letter from the editor. But then on this issue,
Hang on. Hang on.
all sorts
Hang
of
on.
letters, all sorts of letters
Right.
from the fans. You know, that's 2 pages, and
Right.
there's another 2 pages,
Right. Right. A lot of letters.
and then another page. Yeah, so it was, you know, very much fan involved. You know, and to get your name, to get your letter in here, that was something. You know, because that just
Right.
showed you how big the mailing list was for this.
Right. All right. Let's take a break, Keith.
All right, sure.
All right. All right, kids. If you're just tuning in, we are talking the Inside magazine. It's a Van Halen magazine that ran from 1995 to 2000, all 16 glorious issues. Um, yeah, I'm sure a lot of you have those or have had them. Not sure what shape they're in now. You know, like the tour programs and the original shirts, and they don't last, bro.
No.
All right, we're going to jump into some nearly impossible Van Halen trivia. Yeah. All right. Let's
Hey, I see a new name on the chat there too. Van Shipman, welcome.
yeah, welcome, dude. All right. All right, let's take that down. Let's find the question. Guys, if you are the winner of tonight's, there is a email address down below. Don't forget where you can leave your name and address, and I'll mail you out for tonight. Let's do this. How about a cool 1995 pass from the Balance tour
Oh yeah,
for you? And we'll throw
sweet.
in, just for you, a 1971 D quarter.
Sweet.
That's right. Even if you don't play, you still want one of these. You know, it is the luckiest quarter in your pocket. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they're impossible to find if you just go out looking for them. I know everybody out there, they get change, they look for them.
Yeah. All right, let's find the question here. Good luck, everybody. The first correct answer that we see is the winner. It is a rather hard question for tonight. Fair
Yeah.
warning.
Yeah, crack away there, Ryan.
Mm. All right. So Keith was kind enough at the 15-minute mark to give you
You're
a
welcome.
um, a good hint for this trivia question. And yes, Keith was correct. The question comes from this book. So, you know, but, as you must know, referencing anything in David Lee Roth's Crazy from the Heat book can be a bit of a task because he tends to ramble.
And to quote Dave, Ted's.
Yeah, yeah. You'll never find it. All right,
Yeah,
but good
it's all
luck.
over the place. It's all over the place too. I mean, he starts off with every
All
injury
right,
that
Keith. All
he's dealt
right,
with.
don't,
So
no, no. You're
I'm
giving
just saying,
too.
it's
No,
all over the place.
you're giving too much hints. You're
It's
trying
not.
to.
All I'm saying, it's not chronological, so it'll be hard to find.
All right, here we go. Let's pull the trigger on it. Good luck, kids. Thanks for being here. According to the 1997 David Lee Roth book Crazy from the Heat, Dave's great grandmother on his mother's side was nicknamed what? And either you know it or you don't. And that is about the size of it. All right, kids. All right. Nope, not June. We'll leave that up
Yeah,
a
this is gonna
while.
be this is gonna be a while.
Yeah, nah, we'll carry on. So good luck and no more hints to the kiddos. Yeah. All right. So what's the cover? So you were holding up an issue, Keith, that had the purple Kramer multi-tape guitar on the cover.
Oh yeah.
What's the cover story of that? Take us through that to that cover and to the table of contents.
The new Van Halen? Question mark. Ugh. I'm looking at all the answers there,
I
and
got them.
no. Okay, you got those
I
covered. All
got
right,
them.
cool. All right. You've got the foundation, which is basically talking
Show
about
us the
all of them.
cover, bro, and then show us the table of contents. All the stories in there. Yeah, right on.
Mhm.
All right. So the mailbag is there again, and that's on page 4.
Yeah,
The world according to Dave.
yeah. That's just like 3 pages of all of his quotes.
All right. Starfleet, making a Starfleet. And
Mhm.
VH merchandise 31. Go to the back of it and let's look at that merch page and
All
see
right.
how it compares to the others.
Oh, that's the one I was showing you earlier. The one with the
Which
humans
issue
being.
is this, Keith?
This is issue 6.
Okay.
So it's got the humans being T-shirt. How many of you's got that?
Yeah, that's cool. You don't see
Yeah, and
those.
then yeah, and then you've got all the Cabo Wabo gear right there.
All right. Okay. Got it. All right, bro.
And then yeah, you got the listing of all the issues that you can board, and the discs and the videos. You got Live Without a Net and Live Right Here Right Now on VHS. But yeah, then you had the Star Project. How that was all came to fruition. I remember having to order that when it first came out from a my local music shop, you know, because it had to be put out on the import aisle. And they didn't even the record store was so small it wasn't even an import aisle. It was or uh, it was like half of an aisle, maybe
Hmm.
like 3-4 sections of
Right.
you know, and then oh look, there's an interview with Jim Service, who's the lighting director. Oh no, I'm sorry, Chris Suba. Forgive me. So they talk all about everything through the Balance tour, all of the work that he's done with them. And if everybody remembers, the Balance tour was the first time that any band has ever used a Jumbotron and had it
Right.
mobilized for the entire tour. So that was backstage or behind Alex's kit there the whole time. And nobody else had ever done that before. So they were talking all about that.
Hold it up, bro. Please. All right.
Hmm. Good. Here's some of the candid thoughts of David Lee Roth. Some nice pictures from back in the day.
Okay. All right.
And here's 2 pages of nothing but quotes from Dave. The world according to Dave.
Nice. Okay. All right.
I just wanted to be in show business. I wanted to make music and sing and dance, tell jokes and stories, make you smile, make you cry, and charge you $8.50. Here's your centerfold piece with all the slides.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, all from the Balance tour. Hey,
Nice.
that looks familiar. Did you have one of those, Tom? A photo pass like that?
I think a lot of them have those. We gave a stack of those away last year.
Yeah. What about those Van Halen panties?
Nah.
not
I'll leave
your
those to you.
not your size?
They're in your underwear drawer, bro.
No, 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 no.
Not mine.
No, that'll pass. But and then a little bit more, little known tidbits, things like that.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
talks about his hip update, things like that. And, you know, nice photo shot there from the '78 tour. And then
Right on.
the breakup timeline.
Mm.
It goes all the way from February of '89 all the way to August of '96. So it just goes completely through everything
So
that happened.
so hold that up where it starts again. It says
Okay.
the breakup timeline. Okay, so all
So
right.
it's got a very long list of everything,
Right, but
all
all right. So the breakup timeline goes from when until when?
February of '89. And it starts off with in February of '89. Sammy tells the band he will probably not tour for the next album due to the stresses of being on the road.
Mm.
Yeah.
Huh. So when does that particular article end? What's the timeline here? Point
It ends
A
at
to B.
Z 8596.
Okay.
That's the last chronological section of it. So it goes through everything here. And a lot of this is all through June of '96, when it all hits the fan, with the breakup. And, you know, I remember those days vividly because all you could hear about was, you know, every other radio break, somebody would be talking about Van Halen, you know, with Sammy leading the band. And, what's going on? Is Dave coming back in or what? And that was the big question. And then we had found out, you know, in September that everything was happening. Then it wasn't because of Dave. So
Mm-hmm.
that whole MTV debacle. So,
Yeah.
and
Well,
then we all know what happened after that. Um, with the tryouts, with everybody else, and with Gary coming on finally, and then everybody being, wait, what? So
yeah, I know. Well, I think and I'm a huge David Lee Roth fan, don't get me wrong, but I think what happened in 96 was Dave being too gung ho and too excited to be kind of, he only had a foot in the door, but, it was the possible start of great things to come if he plays his cards right. And I don't think he played his cards right,
no, not at all.
you know.
Not at
Um,
all. How we doing on that trivia question, kids?
um,
Haven't seen anything yet, have you?
I haven't seen I like that answer.
Bessie. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I guess we're going to have to call it impossible tonight, Keith.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
Yeah. You want to
Kiddos.
everybody's throwing everything out there but the kitchen sink, so to speak.
I'm gonna write. I'm gonna do a test. I'm gonna write a Sammy Hagar question for next week.
Ooh.
and we'll see. You know, I'm a little disappointed. Somebody didn't know it right away. Somebody's lurking in the kitchen, comes rushing in. I know that. Boom.
Yeah. Well, it
All
was a
right.
tough one. I mean, even I didn't know it. I had to sit there and just thumb through. I'm like, I remember reading about it, but I'm like, oh, what page was it on? Because, like I said, his book is all over
I
the
got
place.
him, though. I got him.
There, you got me, man. Hey, I own it. I own it.
All right. So we'll cut it off. Um, we'll cut it off. We'll cut it off. All right. So, kids, hang out. We're going to have another contest in just a second. But the answer to this, according to the David Lee Roth book, Crazy from the Heat, great grandmother on his mother's side was nicknamed Big Grandma. And he mentions that a couple of times in the book. But so, you know what I'm going to do, Keith?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that back.
Uh-oh.
I
Wah, wah,
got
wah, wah.
a new prize, and I've got another question that I just kind of noticed that I am wearing the shirt,
Yeah.
Um, so,
Oh, is it the question I think you're going to ask?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So, kiddos, this is what we're going to do. Thanks for being here tonight. We're hanging out. We're talking about the Inside magazine and the Van Halen news desk and the Van Halen store and Jeff Hausman. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. So nobody got my question for tonight. All right, I'm going to ask another question, and this is what we are playing for, everybody. Yeah, I told you I had on the shirt, Keith. So tonight we're playing for this a Nerd Halen guitar pick.
Ooh,
How
very
about it?
nice. From the Monsters of Rock cruise last year. Nice.
All right, so I'm going to ask this question. The first correct answer that we see is going to be our winner, and it is about OU812. Okay.
So,
All
Ryan, you better
right.
get this one.
Yeah, OU812, you better win this one. This is OU8.
And it's not a
This is
softball
all
either.
you. I thought it was kind of a softball. All right, kids. Here goes for a Nerd Halen pick. And if you don't have a Main Street J Turner pick, I'll turn you on to one of them too.
Ooh, yeah.
Exactly that one. But some of you playing do have that one already. But if you don't, I will make sure you get one. But we're playing for a Nerd Halen pick right now. You ready?
Nice.
All right. So let's find it. Okay, get ready, kids. I think it's kind of easy. Keith thinks it's hard. Um, but
We'll see
nevertheless,
how it goes with the kids.
here's your question. On the 1988 Van Halen album OU812, who had the idea to have the band members on the cover? Who? Person. First and last name. Whose idea was that?
Mm-hmm. First and last name.
You'll never guess it. I think. I I knew it. He didn't at first. Um, whose idea? All right, a guess doesn't cost you anything because sooner or later we're going to have a correct answer in here. Hmm. Great answers, though.
Really, Silva? It was 1987. Wolfgang wasn't even a twinkle in his eye.
Ah,
There you go.
there is your winner.
Mm-hmm.
Right on, Patty Deal. She is the winner. Right
There you
on,
go, girl.
Patty. Nice. So,
Yep.
Patty, I'm going to be sending you a Nerd Halen pick right there. I'll send it out in the morning. Check your mailbox. Thank you for being here. And I love my license plate right there. You see my thumb? Let
Oh
me
yeah.
ISO here. Let me. Yeah, that right there. Thank you, Patty. Right on.
Yeah.
A new Van Halen plate. All right. So Patty is our winner for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess I made the first one too hard, Keith.
Yeah. And Ryan, we're pulling your card. You're
Um,
no longer allowed to use that moniker anymore.
so Keith, what do you? I still have pieces, and they're found amongst the other pieces of Van Halen tour programs and old Guitar World magazine covers and all that. But whatever happened to all your inside magazines?
Oh, you don't want to know. That's not a pretty story I like to tell.
Oh, okay.
it,
All right. I'll trust
it,
you.
it was stolen from me. All my Van
Okay.
Halen memorabilia from 78 to 2004 was stolen.
Okay.
I I had it in a big road case. I even had the road case striped out. And all my magazines, all my memorabilia was in there. And I was moving at the time, and I told the roommate, I don't have room to hang on to all my
Mm,
stuff, and he's
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'll hang on to you for you, here's my number, and I'll, give me a
Mm,
call when you're ready to settle in." I call him up and,
right.
"I'm
Yeah.
sorry, this call has been disconnected. It is no longer in service."
Yeah. You're right.
Mm,
That's a story I wouldn't want to tell either.
yeah, so
Yeah. Yeah.
I had to start from scratch again from there.
Well, no, it's not scratch. I mean, you have memories that
Yeah,
with, that no one can take away.
yeah,
I
but
mean,
oh god,
yeah, that music
pictures,
is,
ticket stubs, everything you can imagine I had, you know, all my Van Halen gear in one box gone. The
don't
only
say that, bro.
the only thing
Don't
I
say
had left
that.
was a couple of T-shirts
Mm,
and my Frankenstein guitar that I built myself.
oh, let's move
Yeah,
on, Keith.
thank you.
That's a bad. I'm a collector, and that's a bad. That's bad. That's bad
Yeah,
vibes right there. That's
yeah, I know.
juju. Yeah, let's
Bad
let's
juju,
let's go
bad
back.
juju.
Yeah, let's turn the corner. All
Yeah,
right. All right.
on to bigger and better things here.
Mm,
We're gonna
please.
go here.
Yes.
All right.
Right on. So, which issue is that?
This is issue 11.
Okay. So now, in case how often were these out? There were 16 in 5 years,
I think they did like 4 a year. I think
every quarter.
every quarter they did one. Yeah.
Okay.
During the dead times, I think they spread it out a little bit thinner, but
Right.
pretty
Load
much
it up.
pretty much every year though. So,
Right.
check them out there playing the Wolfgang. First
So
time I ever seen Uggs too
so
was
that
on his feet.
issue there, they toured Australia. Hold it still.
Mm-hmm.
There. Okay, you got tour talk with Michael Anthony,
Yep.
and you got the mailbag there again. Right on. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Keep
and
going.
then you got all your other stuff. They want photos and stories, letters from the editor. All your thank yous. And what I also loved too was every issue you'd always get an autograph winner or a photo with winner. They would give you a media card or something like that, which
Right.
is really cool.
Right. Nice.
And then all your mailbag goodies. There's your panties
Okay.
again, Tony.
I see.
Yeah, so they would still have, all sorts of input from the fans.
Right.
And then you would have here's a really cool section though. Like you said, they started the tour in Australia, went to New Zealand, and these are all commentaries and stories about when they were there. So it's really great that they had all of that. They had guys from Auckland, Victoria, Wellington, and then right at the end you had a guy who's having a picture done with Alex in Van Nuys. So
Right.
this was at the Virgin Megastore on the release day of Van Halen 3 in New York City. I was at this signing. I was actually across the street with him as well at the MTV premiere at MTV Studios as well. And then we all walked across the street with Van Halen and got in there and I bought the tin, the Van Halen 3 in the tin box with all
Yeah.
the cards and everything. And
Right.
it came with the guitar pick. It came with
the
a
pink
pink
one.
pink
Right.
guitar pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So had the card signed by the band, which was really cool. And then, all sorts of
Right.
different scenarios here. You had Van Halen Day right here. And then you also had them doing promotion for the Lethal Weapon 3, which was coming
Right.
out that year as well.
Right.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
all the cards
Yeah.
in the tin.
Yeah. Keep rolling, bro.
Yeah. Here's the premiere party that they were doing at Billboard Live in Hollywood.
Yeah, I remember that. We
They
all
did
remember that.
they did a
Yeah.
live broadcast of this on Westwood One Radio,
That's
if you remember.
right. We
Yeah.
remember that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
All right.
that was really cool. And
All right.
what was it? Check out Alex's kit because it was the only time he had the cover on the kit for this show.
Right. Nice.
He didn't have it on during the tour. And then here's the article down under, diving down under.
Yeah.
Our buddies,
Nice.
yeah, all of our brothers down under, they were all at those shows. Andrew and Simon and all them.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Z, not Dave Z, but ZD 351, John ZD 351. I'm sure Chris was there as well. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep. And then Eddie sporting the purple there, the purple Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Uh,
All right.
so, what I loved about this tour, though, was what Gary was doing. Just playing the hell out of all the songs, not just the new stuff, but Sammy stuff and Dave stuff, and doing it well. Here's another interview
Right.
with Mikey, talking all about everything. Now, anybody who knows Mikey, and I'm sure Jay knows this, Mikey's got this tattooed on his arm, right up on his bicep here. And when I met him during a meet and greet in '98, I slapped him on the arm, and he's like, "Oh, easy!" And he had just gotten the ink work done like the day before in New York, so he was all bummed out that I tapped him on the shoulder. But I didn't know he had the sleeves on the shirt. So
All right.
yeah. And then a nice interview with Eddie, just about inspiration and where all of his ideas come from. I think he also
Who did that interview?
Doug Fox. So
All right.
he talks all about everything here, from his
Right.
inspiration to the critics and the reaction by the fans.
Right. All right. All right. So, right.
And then you've got your merch and your issues, back issues on there, and then a double page of all the merch.
Let's look at that. You got to hold that still, dude. All right. So, you got all the old stuff on the right, all the old posters. And so they
Yeah.
go to the left page, Keith, and hold it up. And don't worry about look. Yeah, right there. All right. Yeah, nice. So, nice.
I got all the classic old stuff. And if you look down below here, you even got the tour books right down here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you've got, let's see, you got Fair
You got
Warning
four of
Tour.
them. Right. Fair
Yeah,
warning
51.
5150 OU812. And yeah.
And the Balance
And
Tour. And then you've got the Access All Areas book by Malcolm Dome. And then the compressed issue of all the Guitar World magazine articles.
All right.
And then the encyclopedia, of course.
Okay. Let's keep rolling, Keith.
And then the box set, the first box set of CDs.
All right.
Yeah. So, and then of course you've got the final one.
All right.
This was one that threw everybody for a loop just because of the scenario. I mean, this was issue 16. It came out in the summer of 2000, and it was a very it was a very dubious statement on there. because little did we know that this would be the last issue, but neither did they. It was just the sign of the times for back then.
Well, and so this came out, and what's the cover story of that one?
That is the cover story. What's going on?
What is it? Hold up the table.
There is no table of contents. That's the thing.
Huh.
It's just, yeah.
There's no articles in it. It's just one.
Oh, it's got articles. It's got articles, but there's no table of contents. The first article is an interview with Gary.
Okay.
And this is all post breakup. And they interview him, and everything just like, he talks about how he was in a no-win situation, basically, because of all the way that all the fans were, and the record company, in fact, was, split. Some people wanted Dave, some people wanted Sammy, and that came even before the letters, the mailbag. And of course, you've got long diatribes here from everybody about the entire situation, because by then it was pretty much known that Gary was out, and Van Halen was basically in a land of stagnation. So, and this is an article with Mike Plotnikoff, who was second engineer for the Balance album. Let me do that, and it's actually 3 pages here. So talks all about everything that was entailed with the entire making of.
Right. So that last issue, without looking at all of it, Keith, that last issue, it basically had the question mark on there, but didn't really touch on anything other than the interview with Gary.
Right.
So
Gary, and then
it left us all. It left us all to make up our own minds, but we had no idea at the time that was going to be the last issue of that.
Right. And on this, it's probably one of the smallest issues too, because those 2 articles, you had your mailbag, and then poof, straight to centerfold, and everybody knows this photo shoot, and then you got Chris Holmes's guitar right there. That's the one he used for recording Women and Children First with. So.
Yeah, but that issue as a whole is basically that's the end of that magazine. And so you're, as short as it is, they pretty much, I guess, Jeff knew that was the last.
Yes, probably. But I don't think he would have announced it though, because he was also putting out, endorsements for the second set of subscriptions as well. And I had paid into it. It was like $32 for the new yearly or 2-year subscription, and I'd signed up for it, and I was still waiting, and it never happened. And never. I was just so bummed about it. So, and that's when everybody started to feel the hurt, and the loss. Like, they had lost their, favorite car, their favorite Hot Wheel, or, their favorite Barbie doll, or whatever have you, because of the stagnation that was going on with Van Halen, because the second half of this article, really nice shot of Eddie here during the Balance tour.
Van Shipman, welcome tonight. Adam Roach, welcome, bro. Good to see you.
What's going on, Adam? Yeah.
dude.
And then, you've got all quotes here from all different types of artists, 3 pages of it, you know.
Right. Um,
And then you've got other quotes by the band.
right. All right. Is there anything else in that particular one, Keith? I want to wind it down, brother.
This is about an article about borrowing Chris Holmes's guitar for the recording of Women and Children First.
Right.
And nice picture of Eddie of the 5150, and then an overview of all of or some of his contributions in other people's albums. And then that's what the merchandise ended up being at the end. That's it.
That's it. That's the end. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that was everything there. I mean, by that time, they were starting up van-halen.com. They were starting up the news desk was just in its infancy, and
Yeah.
the store was taking off though. The store was doing really good. The Van Halen store. So you would
Yeah.
get the flyers in for all the merchandise, and they were still selling all the Sammy gear. They were still selling, the old stuff from Dave, and they were also selling all the Gary merch as well.
Yeah. Well, I remember in the old days when you would get the little thing in the mail and it
Mm-hmm.
was trifold thing that you open up and it had all of that year's stuff plus all of last year's tour merch and the year
Yep.
before and yeah.
Yeah. If anybody ever asked me what I want for Christmas, I just hand them the the trifold flyer and like anything from here.
Oh,
I'll,
I
I'll
bought
tell you what I got. I'll tell you what I got, but order
I
anything else
bought
there.
a lot of stuff from that from earlier tours, programs and shirts and
Mm-hmm.
all kind of but every time I ordered and this is the early 80s now and I'm you know middle school, high school that every time you order you waited 8 weeks, you
Oh
know.
yeah.
They said 6 to 8 weeks and they weren't kidding.
Mm-hmm. They'd max it out. Yeah. For the original Van Halen merch stuff. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
for everything that you would order in those days, you order
Yeah.
an album off the, 6 to 8 weeks, you know. Yeah.
Yeah. People don't know how well you got it today. Whew.
My how times have changed.
Yeah. Right. I mean, shit. I can make a phone call right now. Like, hey Jeff, can you send me something? Yeah, sure. Have it to you in 2 days. Boom.
Yeah, Jeff, and all of us know that Jeff is great. If you
Mm-hmm.
buy anything from the Van Halen store, it's always a great experience.
Yes.
And let's thank our lucky stars that it exists, you know, and it's there. We've all bought stuff from the Van Halen store. So thank you,
Yeah.
Jeff.
Yes.
Um,
Thank you.
yeah, um,
Keeping that flame going.
yeah.
And
So
I want to give a heads up because he just posted today that the original Van Halen logo shirt, the black T-shirt with the original Van Halen one logo, that's back in circulation now. So if you want, you could get those. And plus, he's got a whole bunch of new ones out too. Some tie-dye ones, which have the old demo logo from the original Van Halen album. Not the one with the logo, but the one with the logo that everybody hated. And
we're
the picture of
we're
the four of them.
we're gonna do a show. We're gonna end this soon, but Jeff, we're gonna do a show on the Van Halen store. And we're going
Nice.
to spend the whole night talking about the store and showing it all. But yeah. So that will be coming. Um, but yeah,
Hmm.
go check out the Van Halen store. And if it
Yep.
another thing to go check out if you haven't already is go to the Mammoth official site, pre-order your copy of the new Mammoth album, Mammoth 2, August 4th. Many options, new merch, all kind of cool stuff there on the Mammoth site. But yeah,
Yep.
all that stuff. Release day, August the 4th, which will be right around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's only got a couple of more shows here on the States, and then he takes a break and then goes overseas. I think they're doing tonight in Phoenix, and then is it tomorrow in Vegas, I think, and then they're going out to Reno, and then after that they're taking the month off, and then end of April they're going to be over in Europe.
And we will be once that gets underway, we'll be covering that and talking about that here on the
Yeah.
channel. Those dates are up. Hope you got a chance to see um, Mammoth with Alder Bridge here on
Hmm.
this run. If you are one of the lucky ones, and we'll all get our chance here next year, Keith,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
on the
But
Metallica tour.
it'll cost you.
Yeah,
That's a
well,
pricey ticket.
yeah,
Pricey ticky.
it is.
Metallica,
But
Pantera, and Mammoth.
yeah, but we'll talk about that. But the cool thing is Wolf will add Mammoth headline dates
Hmm.
along the way, and so we're hoping that that's going to be the case around here. Yeah,
That
I want
is,
to see the
yeah.
Mammoth headline show. Yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, we definitely need a North Carolina show.
Yep, we
Because by
certainly
then
do.
I'll be all settled in down there then. So,
So let me give them a few announcements before we get going, Keith, tonight.
right.
So we talked about the new Mammoth that's coming out. If um if you're around this weekend, we invite you to come back by the channel on Saturday night. We have another little show and we talk guitar picks and rock memorabilia. We spotlight a new artist every single week. And this Saturday on Show Me Your Pick, boom, April
Yeah.
Fool's Day is Zach Wild, April the 1st. That's right.
Hmm. That's right.
Don't you like how that Halenville pick rests nicely right over top of that other? Watch
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Boom.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So that's Saturday. So we'd love to see you. We play 10-shot rock and roll trivia on Saturday. So it gets really, really, really fun. The questions aren't as hard, but we had a 9-way tie going into the last question a couple of weeks ago, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun. So come see us on Saturday as we talk guitar picks. And speaking of guitar picks, guys and gals, if you want some custom guitar picks made, we have a guy, Greg at Legend Picks. He will make you anything you want. He makes lovely picks. Send him your artwork. He's made picks for all these people and us too.
Hmm.
And we highly recommend him. And those of you thinking about a guitar build, Neil Daly daily custom designs. Those links are down below. Hit Neil up, huddle up on your next build. And for those of you liking the cigar box builds, we know a guy there, Brendan B. Squared, our brother co-host on Saturday. He's here on Wednesday too. He's just
Yeah.
not here tonight, but he makes these lovely things by hand.
Yeah. Killer
He
guitars.
does.
Killer cigar box guitars. You got a couple yourself.
I do.
Yeah. Still loving that one right over your shoulder there. The show me your pick one.
Right there.
Beautiful. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, all right. Yeah. We got a lot happening on Saturday, a lot of fun going down. Congratulations to Patty Deal, the big winner of the Nerd Halen pick in the second contest, because I made the first one too hard, Keith.
No quota for you.
Uh,
No backstage pass either.
all right. I didn't mean to make it that hard, but nevertheless,
Yeah, you did.
I did. Of course I did. All right. So, guys and gals, leave a thumbs up here on the video if you would. It's been great seeing you. Thank you for being here. We'll be right back here next Wednesday, talking all things Van Halen. We will.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will.
Got some good things lined up in the future weeks.
Yeah, we do. Dun, 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 dun.
Love that ink work, brother.
All right, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a Van Halen fan and a Mammoth WVH fan. We love you for that. We'll see you. Be well. Peace. All roads lead to Van Halen every time.
Absolutely.
All of them. Don't cut your GPS on. Just go. See ya. Have a great week.